Hey everybody, so I thought we'd do a bit of a different video today. I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing and leaving a comment on that video from yesterday, the Alex Phillips one. It did amazingly well, that video. I'm up to 3,000 subscribers now, so that's brilliant. Thanks to everybody for coming and subscribing, sharing that video far and wide. All the people on Twitter/X that shared that video far and wide, I really appreciate it, I really do. So we're going to take a look at the Reform Party and their conference, because they seem to do a conference every other few weeks or whatever. And to me, I've seen some of their conferences, I've watched some of their conference videos, and it just seems to be more of the same all the time. There's nothing really innovative in there about anything. It just seems to be the Nigel Farage show. Look at me on stage and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing about their policies or anything like that. It's just telling us what policies they're going to do, but they don't really elaborate on how they're going to do it. Maybe they'll be different at this conference, I don't know. But taking a look at this, I want to know from you, my subscribers, if this is standard for conferences, that, you know, members have to pay to go to the conference, because I always assumed that if you were a card-holding member of the party, then you got into these conferences for free. That's what I thought. I might be wrong, I don't know. But the prices that the Reform Party are actually offering seem to be a little bit steep, even for their members. But we'll go and take a look at it. So Richard Tice says this: join the winning team. Well, that's up for debate, isn't it, whether you're a winning team or not? Personally, I don't think you're a winning team at all. Be part of the movement that saves Britain. I highly question that. I don't think you're going to save Britain whatsoever. Come to our national conference. Well, you have a conference every few months, so what makes this conference so special? That's what I want to know. Anyway, we'll click on the link and we'll go and take a look at. So this is it. We'll go down here and we'll have a look at tickets. We'll see how much it actually costs you to get in. Nigel Farage is on everything, obviously. The narcissist, he's got to be everywhere, hasn't he? And I want everybody in the comments to tell me if this is a standard price that you have to pay when you go to a political party conference. Because I don't know, I've never been to one, so I don't know. Tickets, here we go, tickets. Let's take a look at tickets. When it loads up. I'm just generally interested. I've had a look at this, and I just want to know if these tickets are particularly steep, because they've got different varying ticket prices for different people. I haven't actually had a look at them all yet when it loads up, that is. Here we go. I just thought it'd be interesting for everybody to see just exactly what people pay when they go to these things. So you can go down to this bit down here. What type of ticket will you be purchasing? So let's have a look. Let's have a look at a party member first, because that will be the standard that most people who vote for Reform would get, the party members. So down here it says, so basically a party member early bird rate is £45.83, excluding 20% VAT. So I have no clue if that's something that everybody pays when they're a member, when they go to these conferences. I don't know, I've never been to one. But to me, that price looks extremely steep, especially for members. So that's the early bird rate. So apparently you can get that, and then you can add on, if you really want to go and meet the man himself, Nigel Farage, you can add on the official after party. So that's another £20 added to that. So in total, if you're a party member and you want to go to the after party afterwards, then that's going to cost you 65, nearly 70 or 80 pounds, and that's without VAT on top of that. So, well, it's a steep price to pay. And if you imagine, if he gets, you know, a couple 100,000 people, and that's been me being very, very liberal with that, they're going to make some money at these conferences. Obviously, the conference hall is going to take its cut, I assume. And you can also add on a Reform membership to that. So that's going to cost you, what, nearly, let's be generous, probably, what, 135 quid just to go to this Reform Party conference. So that's members. That's membership. Let's have a look at some of the others. So a young member. A young member. So is there any difference in that? So, oh, that's early bird, yeah. So if you're an early bird, you pay £20.87 if you're a young member of the Reform Party. This ticket includes 2 full days of access to the exhibition hall, main stage and fringe events at the Reform Conference 2025. Please note this ticket is exclusively available to under 25 members of the Reform Party. And again, you can add on going to meet Nigel Farage and other people for another £20.83. Seems to be a very, very good money making, and at a Reform Young membership, which is £8. So still a pretty steep price even for a young member going to this conference. So look what councillors pay, shall we? Because you would have thought they would be free, wouldn't you? No, if you're a councillor, no, you've still got to pay to get in. If you're a councillor, you've still got to pay to get into your own conference. That's amazing. That's amazing to me. I can understand members paying a ticket price, but a councillor who actually represents the Reform Party, you have to pay to get into your own conference. That's amazing. This ticket is only available to Reform UK councillors. This ticket includes 2 days access to the exhibition hall. That's amazing. And they have to pay. The councillors themselves have to pay to go to the after party. That's incredible. That's incredible. Wow. Another £20.83 to go and meet the leader of the party. That's amazing. To me, that should be free. If you're a Reform councillor, you should be free to go to your own conference and go to the after party. Surely. Wow. That's amazing. Truly is amazing. Right, well, I'll look at some of these other ticket prices. Platinum. I've got no clue what platinum is. What is platinum? I'm taking this is like, an ultra. Holy shit. Right, so platinum ticket, early bird rate, £2,083, excludes 20% VAT. Enjoy 2 full days of platinum access to the exhibition hall, main stage and fringe events at the Reform Conference 2025. Your platinum perks. Champagne breakfast with the Reform UK leadership on Saturday morning. This sounds like some kind of thing that you would do with a celebrity or something like that, not a political party. It's a little bit strange, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if this is what happens at all these party conferences, because obviously I've got no clue. I've never been to one in my life. But wow, if this happens at all the political party conferences, membership are being taken for a ride. They absolutely are. Entry to the exclusive Platinum Lounge, reserved for Platinum ticket holders only. Fast track entry to avoid queues and get straight into the action. Complimentary ticket to the lively Saturday evening People's Party. Preferred seating for headline speeches and key moments. Reserved Platinum parking for maximum convenience. Full access to all member-only events. A professional photographer. A professional photograph with Nigel Farage MP. You must have an active membership to purchase this ticket. Wow. And Reform UK membership as well. So with that, you pay £2,000 and you don't even get a complimentary membership to the Reform UK. You've still got to pay extra to get a Reform UK membership. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing to me. Right, let's have a look at some of these other tickets. So what's commercial? So these are going to be like business people, aren't they? Business. Right, okay, so business, commercial, guest, early bird rate, that's £500, excluding VAT. Wow. Available to representative UK registered companies with a valid company's house number. What's included? 2 days access to the exhibition hall, main stage, fringe events, entry to the turquoise lounge, Jesus Christ, exclusively for commercial and Charity guests. Invitation to Reform UK's business reception on Friday the 5th of September. Wow. Oh, and you can add a official. You can even for that you're not going to get access to the official after party. You've still got to pay for that. Wow. That's amazing. They're making some right money off of these things, aren't they? Diplomatic. See what the diplomatic people have to pay. Diplomatic guests, they have to pay £416. That's excluding VAT as well. What to include? 2-day access to the exhibition hall. Yeah, we've seen that. Entry to the Platinum Lounge, exclusive for Platinum, yeah, diplomatic guests. Invitation to Reform UK's business reception Friday. And obviously you've got to pay for the after party as well. That's not included in your £416. I've seen some of these conferences and they're not worth the money. They're not worth £5, let alone the amount that they're charging here. And I would probably say that about any party conference. If you have to pay to get in, if you're a member of the party, to me that should be free. That should be a perk. You should be, if you're a member of the party, you're giving your hard-earned cash as a member. You're giving the party your support already. You shouldn't be charged anymore to get into these conferences. That should be something that the party gives back to you, not you, sort of thing. Well, that's just me, I guess. Right, that's amazing. Let's see what the press have to do. So we've had charity. Let's see what charity have to pay. So if you're a charity, you're not getting it for free. Charity guest early bird rate is £208 excluding VAT. What's included? 2-day access to the exhibition hall main stage. So basically, you pay more than a member or anything like that. Add-on, yeah, you still got to pay to get into the after party, which you think if you're a charity they would waiver that and allow you in, but I guess not. See what else we've got. So we've had charity, media. Oh, media, you're free. You can get it for free. So they allow media in for free. You must hold a valid press card issued by UK Press Card Authority via one of its gatekeeper organisations to apply for media credentials. Tickets include 2-day access to the exhibition hall, main stage and fringe events. Submission of your application does not guarantee a ticket. All media passes are subject to approval by the Reform media team, so you will be vetted. So that means the free press isn't allowed at Reform party conferences. They're going to be censored. It's only going to be people that give a favourable press coverage to Reform party that are going to be allowed in. And this is my concern for the party in general. They don't like negative press. They don't like being criticised. And this just highlights it here, doesn't it? It really does. That, we're not going to allow any of the citizen journalists in. People might want to go in there and ask, hard questions to us. And we've seen this from Nigel Farage. He doesn't like criticism. Nigel Farage isn't the person to do what Rupert Lowe did. Go to Emily Maiters and, get the hard interview and be grilled by her. He's not the person to do that. And this is what makes me believe that he's not the man to run the country. If you're so scared of the mainstream media to a point where you've got to vet them when they come in, then you're not going to take on the civil service. You're not going to take on the people, the deep state that is behind the civil service. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not strong enough to do it. Rupert Lowe is. And again, they do have to pay for the after party, which is £20. They get it for free, but they've got to pay for the after party if they want to go to that. So basically, that's all the ticket prices and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments below if this is just standard for a party political conference. Do all the parties do this, or is this something that's unique to the Reform Party? Because if it is unique to the Reform Party, then it's just basically a money-making scam, isn't it, in my opinion? It really is. I've seen the Reform Party conferences. They're nothing of value at all. They just get on stage, they make a few quips about people. They don't describe how they're going to do the things that they say they're going to do. And that's the most important thing to me. And, Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib need to take note for this. if you have a party conference, you know, we don't just want to know what you're going to do. We want to know how you're going to do it. And this is something sadly lacking from the Reform Party. And it's not just me saying this. This is coming from the branches themselves, the Reform Party branches, that of many have quit and that have resigned their positions because of this. They say, before the council elections, we have no policy. We have no concrete policies to put to the electorate. And this is what they were demanding of the Reform Party, and they didn't get. And so many of them just resigned because they didn't like the way the party was going and that kind of thing. But yeah, these conferences just seem vapid. It just seems to be the Nigel Farage show and not telling the electorate how the Reform Party is actually going to reform the country. So yeah, I just thought I'd take a bit of a different video today. But yeah, I think that's very interesting, especially the media side of things. Very, very telling to me that, yeah, we're going to vet the media. So no free press allowed. You know, you've got to be scrutinised before you're allowed in. Very interesting. This is Vindicator. Sign off. I shall see you in the next video.